look who we have next. Piss off, mate. Just piss off. Bring him on.
Right, yes, time for us still.
Yeah.
Little on Tottenham TV.
I was saying, Bob, apparently Richarlison, people were saying he had a poor game because he's hanging around with the wrong crowd now.
Yeah, I know, man. I've got to have words with him. I'll have words with him. He's already sent his apology. He said he should have done better with his header. But congratulations, Ben, on doing the worst ever impression of Elton John singing Rocket Man earlier. Well done.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
It's all right. It's all right.
Well, what is your genuine impression of how Richarlison played today?
Well, you think he's ever going to badmouth his best mate now?
I've been a Richarlison fan even before he signed for us. He did okay. He didn't set the world alight. But I think the most telling thing he did today was control the ball, take on a player, try and nutmeg another one, and then got fouled and won a free kick. And I think that was the reason Richarlison was one of the reasons why we brought him in. I think it was telling though, wasn't it, Sim, that he started on through the middle. Before Sonny came in, he was moved out to the left. And then when Sonny did come on, he moved out to the right. And I think that, in a nutshell, he's basically showing his flexibility and what we're going to do with him this season. He didn't have a fantastic game. I'm not going to start getting the Kleenex out yet, but he wasn't bad. He wasn't as bad as some people. There seems to be a narrative going around, man. It seems to be fashionable pissing on our own players, especially when a new player. The guy's had 60-odd minutes in a Spurs shirt. Let's wait and see. I personally think it'll surprise people, but that's just a personal opinion. But don't start slating him.
I think it's just the way social media is these days.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not just Richarlison I've seen it for. I've seen it all over the internet about Darwin Núñez as well, because he missed a couple of chances in training. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It just literally does not mean anything. But in terms of other players today, who really stood out for you on the pitch today?
Sonny and Kane did what Sonny and Kane do. Harvey White looked comfortable for his 30-odd minutes down that left wing back. I think you guys selected him to start, didn't you, in your predicted lineup?
Yeah.
Yesterday you were talking about. So that wasn't a surprise for me, purely by what you guys were saying, naturally left-footed and all that. Sarr didn't stand out, but he did. But I don't expect him to stand out. I was having this conversation with Kuva, people saying, how did Sarr do? Well, he did exactly what we expect him. He's not going to stand out. He's not going to be man of the match. He's not going to even stand out after a 90 minutes where we've won a hard-fought a win. He'll be that tidy man. He shifted into Tanganga's and Dyer's and Sanchez's position when they were out of position, and I expect that. So he did okay. But essentially, we do need to look at it. It was only a friendly. It would have been more of a friendly if we'd lost the game, but the fact we've won, hey, it's fantastic.
You know what, on Papa Sarr, I agree with you. I don't think he stood out or anything, but I like the look of him. I like the look. I mean, he was getting the ball, doing quick one-touch passes, moving around. He looks like he's very mobile on the pitch as well. So I'm excited to see what's to come from Papa Matasar.
He didn't look overawed, did he?
No.
Did he, Ben? He was alongside Højbjerg, who's a seasoned, experienced player, certainly in our midfield now as well. And he had Sonny and Kane and Richarlison around him. So he had experience around him. But he didn't look overawed. He didn't look uncomfortable, which you can't say for nearly everyone.
A player that hasn't been mentioned much at all on the fan show today, and I thought he had a fairly good game, was Lucas Moura. What did you think of his performance today?
Best right wing back today, wasn't he? When he moved into that right wing back position, he did all right. And you've got to remember, he played the first 45 minutes up top, so there's a bit of stamina he used up, certainly, and he was constantly running. I think there's a bit of a partnership, and I think that comes from the friendship him and Richarlison have bonded together. You can see from social media pictures. Lucas is his second best friend after me, of course. But mate, Conte likes Lucas, doesn't he? He was always the go-to man ahead of a Bergwijn last season, and there is something that Conte sees in Lucas. I know a lot of people are saying that Lucas might be one of the players out the door, but for me, the whole six in or six out, six in narrative doesn't work if Conte wants to improve the numbers within the squad. Don't be surprised if it's 7, 8 in and 3, 4 out, because we'll not only be building up the quality, the numbers, but we'll certainly be so far improve the quality within the squad as well, which I think Conte wants, doesn't he?
Is it possible for us to do those kind of numbers with the current foreign quota that we're dealing with?
That's the sticking point, isn't it, Ben? That's the sticking point. And Reguilon looks like he might be going out. Sanchez, I was really hoping he'd have a good game today, but misplaced passes, a penalty, and it should have been a penalty. We all know it should have been a penalty. I personally do. Is he expendable enough to move out the squad and bring a new defender in? Yeah, you're right, mate. It's all about a numbers game, unfortunately. But do we keep a foreigner in who makes our squad weaker for the sake of it, and bring in an academy player for the numbers? I don't know, man. That's something that obviously we need to look into a bit more. But for me, it is from what Conte's saying, he does mention depth. Oh yeah, he mentions that quite often.
Ah yeah.
The wrong show.
All right. Anything else from you?
Yeah, in terms of Eric Dyer, our main centre back, scored a great goal today. Brilliant finish outside the box. You know, so there's a bit of a discussion to be had whether some fans still think we need to upgrade on him. Some fans think, look, he's been brilliant for the last 12 months, and if we go into the season with him as our main centre back, that's great. And that's what's your opinion on what the state of Eric Dyer should be right now? Should he be a player we rely on going to next season as our first choice, or do you think we should be signing another centre back to maybe take his place?
And I'm probably wrong in this, but it might turn out to be a make or break season for Dyer Sim. You know, he has improved. He's one of the best, if not the most improved, probably alongside Ben Davies, player under Conte. It's the lapses that he has, man. You know, the whole arms behind his back to give away, and unfortunately for him, it normally leads to a player running by him or a shot going by him. Mm-hmm. Mate, he's never injured. He always gives it his all. You can't deny the fact that he is 100% player. He's never in social media, be it for good or bad reasons. And Conte likes him. If he can get those lapses out of him, we were talking about the squad earlier. A good Dyer, a good Davies has made our squad bigger. We'd be happier to see a Davies and a Dyer on the subs bench as an option this season than certainly what would have been at the beginning of last season. And that's the change of mindset and the change of
Bob's just frozen there. Is he frozen?
David.
Oh, is he back?
Bob, you froze there for a second, but you're back now.
Oh, no, it's just me joking. No, it wasn't. Yeah, no. But no, for me at the moment, I agree with David. I think Perisic is the only quality wing back we've got at the squad at the moment. I think Doherty injury, we don't know how well he's going to do. Emerson, we all know about Emerson. Sessegnon for me is just fragile, physically as well as mentally. So for me, wing backs should be the first and foremost position we need to bring in, especially if our creativity is going to be coming through the wing backs. Centre backs, yeah, we need one other. And then, but Dyer for me, one of the most improved defenders. It's up to him. And if he has a good season, then I think we'll see a longevity there. But I don't think Conte is going to be putting up with any more lapse of concentrations that he's probably got away with under previous managers. And to be fair to it, they're becoming a minimum now.
They really are. Finally, any worries with Hugo Lloris today?
Yeah, that was probably the only negative. I don't want to be a hypocrite and say it means nothing and then diss Lloris, but I don't know about you guys, but don't you think it's different for a goalkeeper? At the first half, I was saying to Arthur and Kim, I really hope Austin gets tested and he has to make a couple of saves because as a goalkeeper is. But the quality, regardless of it being a pre-season friendly, mate, those 2 goals he should have had. Floppy hands for the first one, he got a hand to it, and it wasn't a thunderbolt. And the free kick, as poor as the wall was by Sarr and Sonny, he should have done better with that as well. So slight worry. I hope he gets more minutes, because the last thing I want to do is go into the Southampton game and think back to how we played against the K-League side. But I'm sure he will get minutes. But that was probably the biggest negative coming out of the game. Lloris, I think he'll look at himself and think, no, I should have done better.
All right, Bob. Always great to speak to you, my friend, especially after a win. First game back. We'll see you very soon, my friend. Thanks for coming on.
That's on Bob.
Big up the NHS. Thank you.
Big up the NHS. And as always, piss off, Bob.